Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Kurt, and welcome back to Far Lands or Bust. This is episode 295. We are continuing... Oh, I did this wrong. I did this so very wrong. Continuing to the Far Lands in Minecraft Beta 1.7.3, where the Far Lands still exist. We have Wolfie, our companion here. That way is east. Whoa, Wolfie is pushing us off. He's our companion. He's throwing us off the edges of cliffs. Yeah, east-west. We're traveling west is the direction we chose to go, and that's the direction we continue to go. Like I said in episode 295, today is Wednesday, September 18th, 2013. Got some skeleton residue over here, but no arrows. And we're raising money for Child's Play charity in the process as a kind of walk-a-thon fundraiser for that charity. They get toys, books, games to kids in hospitals around the world, among other things. A great cause. The tagline... Oh, careful, Wolfie. The tagline is Gamers Give Back, so it is definitely a gamer-centric charity that I'm very happy to be supporting, and I'm very happy that you guys are supporting through farlandsorbust.com, or at farlandsorbust.com, using the very convenient widget on the homepage there. We are currently at 45. We passed $45,000. $45,038.44 raised this season 4 of Far Lands or Bust. I do appreciate it. We're trying to raise $100,000 this season. We're gonna get the old Mindcrack bump when we do the Mindcrack charity marathon. Oh gosh, live stream. But okay. Oh wow, this. Oh, good job, Wolfie. This place. I came to check out that place over there, but then this fiery lava bit spawned in, and I no longer am all that interested in traveling over here, although I'm just going to check it out briefly. So yeah, we're going to get that. That's, like I mentioned in the last episode, I don't remember now, October 18th, 19th, 20th? If I remember correctly, that weekend, whatever that weekend is, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 48 hours of Mindcrackers live streaming for Child's Play charity, and we have items for which to I believe we're going to be taking the auction format, and of course the auctions go to support the total of Child's Play charity. Memorabilia from Minecons past and other such conventions, signed, autographed things. I have 3D glasses because my character is wearing 3D glasses. That is kind of my trademark, I suppose. 3D glasses that are signed by Notch that I got at Minecon Paris. That's a spawner. That's a very close to the surface spawner. Or not. Nuts to it. I keep saying, you know what, if I can't see the spawner, I'll just let it go. I won't dig for it. Yet I continue to dig for such things. So yeah, like I said, that more and more information will come out as we approach that. I will for sure be there for the opening, I suppose the opening ceremonies on the 18th, what I think is the 18th. That's Friday at 3 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. So join me for that, and I'll be there throughout. Indeed. So, I didn't, hold on, edit. End edit. End edit. I'm not very good at this media thing. Sorry, I just had to make sure. I wanted to have a little bit of space news happened this morning. I watched as the Orbital Sciences Cygnus rocket. Oh, I'm sorry, Antares. The rocket is the Antares. The Cygnus is the cargo spacecraft. Launched on its first official mission to the International Space Station. This is a private company, similar to SpaceX. SpaceX has the Dragon capsule and it's the Dragon capsule and the Falcon 9 rocket. Orbital Sciences, Wolfie, has the Antares rocket and Cygnus cargo craft as commercial resupply to the International Space Station. So now we have SpaceX and, in progress, the Orbital Sciences. This is like the launch. I went to the NASA Social a year-ish or more ago to watch the first official launch of the SpaceX rocket to the International Space Station. I missed the launch because it was delayed. Same thing that they're doing here. This is kind of their qualification test. If they can, dock and supply and then undock and then re-enter, then they officially get the full contract to be a full mission resupply commercial craft for the International Space Station through NASA. So that happened this morning. They don't launch from Florida. They launch from Wallops Island, Virginia, which is Wallops is another NASA flight launch facility. Usually doesn't handle rockets of this size, but it's something that they've started doing for Orbital Sciences and other things. They're ramping up their launch capabilities aside from just at Cape Canaveral in Florida, so that's very cool. So yeah, that's going on right now. I just had to check. I had to edit there because I had to make sure everything was okay still. The launch went fine, the separation of the craft, and I just checked, and sure enough, the solar plant panels deployed successfully, and everything looks on course for a rendezvous and docking to the International Space Station over the next 2 days. Where did that pig go? Okay, I saw a pig, and then I did not see a pig. Well done, guy. Well done. You are a championship high diver. Hi, diver. So yeah, that happened this morning, so that was very cool to see. A little bit of a similar looking rocket to the Falcon 9, the SpaceX rocket, but it's very cool. The only thing, the Cygnus cargo craft is not a capsule, so it will not be re-entering like the Dragon capsule does. I mean, it will not be surviving the re-entry. This is a lot like the Japanese have the ATV, which is their resupply craft. The ESA, the European Space Agency, has the what are they called? Oh, nuts. I forgot what they're called. What are they called? The ESA has... I forgot what they were called. The ATV. Yes. The automatic transport vehicle or something like that. And, of course, the Russian Space Agency has the Soyuz variant, the Progress, the unmanned Progress that they use for resupply. So now we have all these ships, and now these two commercially flown ships that are going to be resupplying the International Space Station. Of course, SpaceX is actually going the next step and is going to try to convert their Dragon capsule for manned spaceflight so that they can send astronaut crews to and from the International Space Station. So that's kind of the next step that SpaceX kind of has a leg up. I think Orbital Sciences is also working on potentially doing that, as are other companies. But yeah, very cool. We're going on and up and outward. Well, not much further outward than we have been, but for space flights and rocket launches are always cool to watch live. And I retweeted, and I received a comment back saying, "Oh, that was the first rocket launch I ever watched live." And where did I get these snowballs? He didn't say that, but I'm curious myself. Curious? I'm very curious myself, Sean Connery, about where I got the snowballs. But he said that's the first rocket launch I watched. It was cool. So it still makes me very happy that I'm able to introduce these things to you guys, some people, and it's a little bit amazing that some people still haven't seen, even just on TV, on video, a rocket launch live. So be sure to check that stuff out. I check spaceflightnow.com, has good coverage of pretty much any rocket launch, manned or unmanned. And they'll let you know, even if it's just a military satellite or a communication satellite, some commercial flight or something like that, they'll have coverage of that. So spaceflightnow.com is where I get that info. The sun is setting. I have another quick topic to attend to, and then we can jump right back into the questions from commenters and donators and Farlanders the world over. So let's prepare ourselves, for making the elevated hidey hole. Check that thing out. It's like a fin. And a boop. And a boop. And a boop. Boop. No. That. And I already got the bed. Let's go to sleep among the very calming music. And awakeness. Woof. Sorry, two things I need to address. The last episode was titled after the word I was looking for that Doc called... Careful, Wolfie! Wow, why did you take that much damage? There's a word in German for numbers that contain all of the same digits, like 11 or 666 or Lorgon 111, you know, stuff like that. And it was Schapzahl? Schapzahl! You have to say it very angrily if you're going to be speaking in proper German. No, but yeah, I asked in that video. I've never heard of, but I wondered if there's an English translation to that word, or at least an English word that describes numbers that are all the same integer. And indeed, there apparently is. Rep digit, R-E-P digit is a word that means that. All right, Wolfie. No, this is like a minefield of cacti. We're going to avoid it. Hi. So that was that. That has been resolved. Thank you, everybody who let me know about that. The second thing I wanted to mention, a few episodes ago, and mostly in regard to and in response to my experience at PAX, I was talking about indie game developers and perhaps taking advantage of... not taking advantage of, but utilizing, I should say, less of a slimy word to put on it. Utilizing YouTube and YouTube Let's Players as an easy method of marketing your indie game. Perhaps you're a solo indie game developer and you made a cool little thing and you want to get the word out, and it's really hard to reach new audiences on Twitter or Facebook or your normal avenues, or trying to get like Rock, Paper, Shotgun to write an article about it. Perhaps going to YouTubers as a way, give them either notice that your game is coming out. I personally don't mind paying for games if it looks like something interesting and I want to play it on my channel. Either that, or if you want to offer, an easy way to get somebody to play your game is offer a free code so that they can play it on their channel, and suddenly you have an audience, a targeted audience. And speaking of targeted audiences, after I made that mention on YouTube, I got a distinct spike of emails from people offering me to play their games, their indie games, and I do appreciate that, but in a few instances, and I forgot to mention this when I was making my point, and perhaps this would have been a worthwhile point to make at that panel, marketing your indie game, when talking about YouTubers, is you don't want to just, I have a game, I'm going to email every YouTuber ever to play my game. That's, if, for instance, I have a specific email where I accept such offers and business transactions, I suppose, business correspondence. So it's not technically, I don't think according to the spam laws, that's technically spam, but it's can be interpreted as such and might be looked upon as such. But you want to... Here's my advice. Here's my point. The point! I have gotten to it. You want to target the YouTubers for whom you are wishing to play your game. Because, like me, for instance, I had somebody offer to play they likened it to Dr. Mario, or Dr. Wario, or I don't even know what it was, but it's kind of where you create a character, RPG-ish elements, and anybody who has, a fan of my channel who has followed for a while, no, I'm not that much or at all into the RPGs, those type of games at all, really. So that game was ill-targeted at my channel. No problem, that's fine. I just delete the email and I don't play the game. But there is a certain amount of research that maybe you should spend. Market research. You want to target specific YouTubers. If you see, oh, this YouTuber has this many subscribers, I would like them to play my game. Perhaps look at a few of their videos. Look at the comments of their videos, the trends, the type of games they play specifically, the type of games they like and don't like. This is kind of cool. And if your game fits in with that, then offer it to them. If not, then maybe you should find another YouTuber. It goes a long way and will get you a lot better results and save you actually a lot of time instead of emailing all these people and perhaps getting yourself on some spam lists to target your audience, your YouTube audience. Because then, specifically, you know that the people who are subscribed to this YouTuber like these kind of games too, or else they really wouldn't be subscribed to this YouTuber generally. So that, yeah, Wolfie agrees. That's kind of just my word of advice, perhaps. So I don't know if you made some indie racing game or exploration thing or some sort of chill exploration sort of game that's not a game like Proteus or Cairo or any type of game like that, puzzle game that I might like. Maybe if you made a side-scrolling platformer, maybe my channel isn't quite the place to go. I might check it out. You know, I played Limbo, I kind of enjoyed that. I tried to play PID. I tried Super Meat Boy and hated it. So maybe my channel isn't the one to go for that, or your RPG games, or your computer, a game like Scrolls, your card games, or anything like that. Maybe my channel isn't quite the one for that, or first-person military shooter. So just a word of advice. And like I said, there's so many YouTubers out there. I mean, even Brian, his point was that, even the smaller YouTubers, don't ignore them either. Because, I mean, look at, say, somebody like... I hate to reference, but somebody like PewDiePie, how big was he when he started playing Amnesia? And Amnesia is what got him, or at least the majority of his Amnesia gameplay is what got him super popular, and then everybody else, I don't know the history, I'm sure somebody's going to come at me, no, PewDiePie wasn't the first to play Amnesia, blah, 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 I know, but, perhaps your game is the one that is going to make this person with 10,000 subscribers get really into YouTubing and creating Let's Plays and get them to 100,000 subscribers or something like that, and then you will reap the benefits as well. So, a symbiotic mutual relationship between the indie developers and the YouTube Let's Players. That is what I am getting at. So I just wanted to mention that. And I do personally have a list. I have a new notepad. I have so many notepad documents on my desktop of like, these are all of the replies I need to make for Content ID claims. These are my questions and notes for Far Lands or Bust. I have a notepad for all of the indie games that I want to play and some of my notes on them. I have 12 indie games that I want to play. I've pretty much downloaded them all. I just have to have a list of them all, because sometimes I'll be like, oh, this is cool. This will be something I'd like to play. I download it and then forget about it. And then in my downloads folder, I see, what is this .zip? I don't know what this is anymore. So I'm keeping notes. So yeah, I have 12 indie games so far that are on my docket to play. Mostly probably them just being a one-off video feature, first impression video. Not many of them, I think, will really become full series, but that's one of the things I want to feature these games. And then I was reading an article. I think Kotaku made an article recently about the Chicago indie game scene that's kind of rising and starting to become popular. And one of the quotes, if I was a proper journalist, I would look back and properly quote this. But one of the quotes was, you can get your... you can get your game played by a YouTuber with 100,000 subscribers, and that'll suddenly, or 1 million subscribers, they mentioned, and that'll get you 10,000 sales that weekend. So it's definitely, why are none of these pigs delivering? Deliver! Wow. Your little horde of pigs, there we go, I was gonna say, you are genetically inferior. You do not create food. There we go, okay. I will let you live so you can tell the others about Wolfie. Actually, let's feed Wolfie here since I have an overabundance. Boop and a boop. Okay, he's full. Very good. I have too many sticks. So yeah, anyway, let's get to questions. Let's get to questions from viewers, because you are my target market right now, the viewers. Okay, that didn't work. That was a heart. And that didn't take anything from Wolfie. Fantastic. It's been a long time since I've taken damage. I've taken damage, but not actually lost any hearts. That was the first time in a while I've taken damage. Mark it on your calendars, boys and girls. Let's look at questions. A very random, out-of-left-field question from Big City Kentuckian. We'll have to wait until the morning, because the sun is setting, and there's a spawner underneath me here. Boop, and a boop. No, Wolfie, no. Could you very safely? Okay, do that, thank you. I guess I can do that, and... drop down the bed, go to sleep, and then continue, well, start answering these questions in the morning. And awakeness. Well, might as well collect. Correct. Collect this wood. Would you? I would. Yeah. All right. Supplied up on supplies. We are well supplied. Like I said, from a donor, excuse me, Big City Kentuckian. He mentioned how he's trying to dress better, quote unquote, more like a grown-up, quote unquote, like I have mentioned many a time before. I have a question, he says, regarding hats. I may not be the best person to ask because I have a gigantic Irish skull and rarely, if ever, and never wear hats because they don't fit. But he has a question about hats. He has a felt fedora that he wears in the fall, a furry cap in the winter. I'm assuming you mean like a watch cap or a stocking cap, and a ball cap style hat for any time the sun might be in my eyes. None of these seem particularly grown up. What other styles of hats can you recommend? I would not recommend a fedora. I know the fedora is kind of a, you know, the computer geek style of, you know, I'm a quirky computer nerd guy. I want to be like Notch and wear a fedora all the time with, you know, jeans and a t-shirt. No. I suppose the only time you could really get away with wearing a fedora is if you're also wearing a suit, like a full-on suit, and then it has to be like a very downplayed and nice, you know, nicely made fedora. You know, fedora is like a nicely made one, handmade, wherever, you know, $200, $300, $400, $800. I don't know. You know, it depends. You know, custom made for your own head, but. You know, it has to match the formality of the situation. So, fedoras with a hoodie and your you know, snarky threadless t-shirt, not a good look. So I really wouldn't recommend a fedora. Most people cannot pull off a fedora. Furry cap in the winter, ball style cap in the summer. I don't know. I've been considering, since going full-on Jason Statham with the buzz cut. Wolfie? There he is. Gosh, scare me. I've been considering trying to find a ball style cap for casual wear, obviously. Keep the sun out of my eyes and the sun off my shiny metal head, because sunburn is often an issue when you have exposed skin on the top of your head. So I've been looking for that, and there are places you can find, you know, the modern teams or the crazy logos or Monster Energy drink, whatever you get free at a convention or sporting event or whatever. Not the greatest. I wouldn't recommend those. There are a few companies out there that make either plain ones and like in specific sizes, you know, not any of that cheapo plastic tabs on the back. In specific sizes, and I say this because I found some that say, oh, that actually is my size. I measured around my head, and I'm like, oh, okay, I'm a 7 like 7/8 or something gigantic like that, and like the biggest they go is like 8. So I can try that. There's some companies that do that. They're made in USA, and then they also are sometimes will have antique baseball team logos. You know, even teams that no longer exist that are kind of cool, I've considered. So I've considered those. So those might be the type of ball caps you go for, and none of the chintzy nylon or mesh or anything like that. Definitely like a felt or a solid color. I've seen some like with different textures, like a wool almost, or this or that or the other. So I think you can make a ball cap tasteful and grown up, quote unquote, if it is of those qualities and not necessarily the cheapo kind that you find for $10 at your local mall's Lids store. Lids with a Z. Although I don't think those are $10. I think those are rather expensive. Yeah, so, and take the stickers off, for Pete's sake. If you are going to wear one of those, take the stickers off. It's not a fashion statement when you leave the stickers on. So yeah, I don't know that much about hats. I wear a stocking cap in the winter. It's much easier now with the Jason Statham situation, not to worry about messing up my hair after I take it off, but yeah, I don't know that much about hats. I wouldn't recommend any of the other special type of hats, like a bowler's hat or a doiby or, you know, a top hat or anything like that. Some people can pull off a, what are those ones called? A driving cap, which is kind of the soft cap. It's called a driving cap. A little bit similar, but more grown up than the newspaper boy's hat. It's another style of hat. Yeah, I don't know that much about hats. So anyway, thank you for the donation and the question. We went from talking about Spaceflight, of course the charity, all the way to indie games and marketing your indie games and getting them played by YouTubers, to the modern thoughts about style and wearing hats as an adult. Woo! Farland's a must. It's a grab bag of topics. Bing! That's my tagline. Oh, I can do this. This is a little bit of a... Alliopa! Spelunk. And... Wolfie is still just hanging out up there. Alright, just stay. Stay up there. Don't... Just wait until you can spawn. Don't try to follow. Alright. Are you good? Still up there? And... Boop. Yep, there he is. Alright, well done. Let's get to some land. This is a lot of, like, broken up islands and stuff, and it's actually getting a little bit annoying to having to keep breaking boats and things like that. Let's see. Speaking of, I suppose, YouTubers and indie developers contacting and supporting YouTubers. Here, this one's a little bit more about viewers supporting their YouTubers. Not Honky Tonk. Their donation asked, I have been using ad blocker for quite some time. But recently saw a series of tweets from Daniel Hardcastle, who is Nerd Cubed. For those of you who don't know, I follow him. I'm a big fan of Nerd Cubed. About how it hurts people like you and him, YouTubers. I have now stopped using it in order to help those who strive to deliver free content. But this made me wonder how much these ads are actually paying, and what % goes to you. If you are not comfortable sharing this, that's okay. Yeah, I'm not comfortable sharing, like, how much I make. That's generally not a topic you want to ask anybody, no matter what job they have, but generally, like, per view, it's fractions of a cent. But that adds up, and when you get to have, like myself, or I believe NerdCube recently got above 1 million subscribers, that does add up, and you're able to make a living on it. Of course, we do note that of the views, less than half of them end up being monetizable. That means either they're on a platform or in a location that doesn't deliver ads. Like for a long time, the mobile platform did not deliver ads, and that was a huge chunk of views. Or they're using ad block. It's hard to tell. And perhaps there are statistics out there what percentage of views that could be monetizable are not monetizable due to ad block or other various reasons. So I want to say that there is lost revenue and lost support via that. But I'm also of the same mind as a previous web designer, and I'm very interested in web design and usability and keeping an open and free internet, free as in freedom of speech, not free as in free beer, but, free to use internet, and the fact that the data coming from the internet goes onto your computer. Personally, I believe that then you and your computer have the right to experience that, not to do with what you will, but to experience that in any way you wish. So whether or not you set up your browser to read things to you because you have a sight impairment with a screen reader, or you flip for high contrast for better visibility, you change the colors, you strip out the CSS and view it just as text, or whatever, and that includes, to a point, being able to choose which of the content on a page is delivered to you. That means ads and stuff like that. So in theory, I'm not against ad block, but I do as somebody whose primary, and I could say, I make some money from the shirt sales and things like that on the side, but primary source of feeding myself and continuing to live in a house comes from advertising. I do wish that more people would not use ad blocker, and you can even, if you have an ad blocker, you can whitelist YouTube, and currently one of the versions of ad blocker, AdBlock Plus, is actually working on an extension that allows you to whitelist specific YouTubers, which a little bit not my favorite thing in the world. I don't want to be singled out. I think you could just whitelist all of YouTube. That would be good. That way you can browse other sites for whom you don't wish to support for whatever reason is your own, and YouTube you can support. Hold on. Oh gosh, oh god, no, there's zombies. This is a problem, everybody. I seem to have found myself in a pickle. A very large pickle. It's getting rather dark. You know what? Let's Is this safe? Is it safe? Oh god. Alright, let's put down some torches. Gosh, Kurt. Alright, yeah, this looks safe. Let's go in here. Woof. Yeah, I know. Hold on. Okay. Whew. This was close. I get so passionate about this ad block thing that I just forgot that I needed to survive. And I am down a heart. Alright, let's do that. And let's flesh out the rest of this hidey hole. But yeah, it would be greatly appreciated if you whitelisted or simply uninstalled AdBlock. My personal recommendation would be not so that you not blah 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 that you don't use at least in the Chrome store the ad block. And the reason why NerdCube was talking about ad blocker is there's been a big hubbubaloo that ad block, the standard ad block, the most popular ad block, has recently started selling ads with ad block, preferred ads or whatnot, which is a little bit of a misnomer, and they may just change recently. The other ad block Plus, is one that seems to be a lot more in agreeance with my personal feelings and a lot of other people about how there are indeed annoying ads that you certainly should have every right to block while you're viewing the internet, but also that there are ads in situations that are unobtrusive and not annoying and not a hindrance to your web browsing experience, and those perhaps you should be able to see for the support of those who depend on them. So AdBlock Plus, if you are going to use an AdBlock, I would recommend that, and you can whitelist YouTube, and that would help out everybody who you watch on YouTube, myself, and all the Mindcrackers, and NerdCubed, and everybody who I've mentioned throughout the ages of being on YouTube here. And that's the only thing I say. Other ways you can support your YouTubers, click that like button. Always at the end of an episode, Kurt. That helps out with the visibility and popularity of videos and being recommended videos and things like that. That always helps. And for me personally, no matter what, no matter how you watch my videos or whether or not you click that like button, you can always go to farlanderbus.com and donate to Child's Play charity. That is something that I enjoy seeing, as we just recently passed 45% of our way to our $100,000 goal over at farlanderbus.com. I really do appreciate it. And until Friday, thank you very much for watching. My name is Kurt. I will see you next time.